Hello my loves, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about Warrior 2 or Virabhadrasana 2, how to do it, and 5 ways that you can kind of feel your way into making it more comfortable. Alright, let's begin. Okay, so let's begin facing the long edge of our mat, standing in Tadasana. Take the feet and open them nice and wide. And right now, you'll probably have the toes pointing towards the long edge, and we don't want that for Vira 2. So take the left foot and turn it towards the short left edge of your mat. Lift the right heel and send the right heel towards the back, the right edge of your mat. The torso will stay somewhat rotated towards this long edge. Bend the left knee so that the left knee comes over the left ankle. Shoulders are above the hips and the arms will extend out, reaching towards the short edges of your mat here. Now you can turn the head so that the eyes are gazing over the left fingertips, and we have Warrior 2. Now let's look at some ways in which Warrior 2 goes a little bit wonky. A wonky warrior. Normally, I would start from the ground up. However, with Warrior 2, the major issue that we see in Warrior 2 is this front knee. The front knee starts to go inwards. What you want is for the knee to be pulling back out over the ankle and more directing towards your middle or towards your little toe edge of the foot. So remember this tip, that your knee is at its most unstable when it is weight bearing and in flexion. We need to make sure that the knee is pushing out. This inside edge of the knee is very, very vulnerable to injury. Push it out. So if you find that you're one of the people where the knee starts to collapse inwards, you want to pull the knee back out, activating the glutes and the abductors on the outer thigh. And to do that, a few of the other tips might need to happen. If you're still finding that the knee is collapsing in, it could be something to do with the foot position. So you might have ended up with the arch of the back foot intersecting the heel of the front foot, and you're on this kind of balance beam. However, for some of us, this is not the alignment that we need for Warrior 2. It can cause the knee to collapse in, it can cause some instability in the pelvis. What you might need to do is take this back foot and take it towards the long edge of your mat, so that the feet are no longer on this balance beam. That might be all you need to do to push this knee over the ankle and find some stability in the knee. I've talked about this trick before for Warrior 1, and you can watch that video here. I'll also leave a link down below. So another way that we can stop this knee from collapsing in is by allowing the pelvis to be asymmetrical. So quite often we get told here that the pelvis is supposed to be totally square to this long edge of the mat. That's not applicable for all of us. If it doesn't feel comfortable to square the pelvis to the long edge of the mat and this knee starts collapsing in and this foot has to move out towards the long edge, your pelvis will be asymmetrical. That's okay. There is no one size fits all for the alignment cues. Feel what's happening in your body and do what is comfortable for your body. It also might feel more comfortable to lift the back heel and send it towards the back of your mat so that the foot is at a 45-degree angle. That will allow some freedom of the pelvis, and then you might be able to access this inner thigh on the front opening. Now the caveat to the pelvis is that you don't want to push into this hip. The femur needs to be sinking into the hip socket. That way you protect your labrum, which may not be a problem now, but some repetition could cause injury. Another common problem with Warrior 2 is that people don't take their feet nearly long enough. While this is Warrior 2, it's not really an energetic or active pose for me to be in. This is a much stronger Warrior 2. Trying to be long enough that this front thigh can get parallel-ish to the floor. Strong, like a warrior. All right, other common issues. We've covered the ankles, the knees, and the hips. Let's move up to the shoulders. The most common thing that we see in yoga is that people want to reach forward. Instead, think about reaching towards the back wall so that the shoulders stay over the hips. And when you do that, make sure that the front leg doesn't come with you. You still need to be reaching that knee over the ankle. If the arms don't feel comfortable reaching out, do something that does feel comfortable. And then finally, I want to talk about the neck. You may find that turning the head towards the front arm might be a little bit painful on one side. It might be a little less range of motion on one side. If you experience any pain, let the head remain in line with the heart. That's perfectly fine. It's still Warrior 2. All right, my loves, I hope that helped, gave you some tips and tricks for Warrior 2. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And remember, my loves, that karma is only a bitch if you are. So be nice, be kind, and be the change that you want to see in the world. The toes pointing, blah, 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 intersecting. It's not there, is it? It's there. Because the old method of teaching this pose is that you're, typically this is, but some repetition, oh, I need to get out of that. Start again. Let's start again. Rambling.